All right, everybody, we're live. Welcome and shalom to this open chat on June 1st. Look at that, it's June 1st, 2023. It's 9:42 p.m. and it is a Thursday night. Well, yeah, 100% pretty much. Because yesterday was Wednesday, yeah, so yeah, I just double checked it. It's Thursday, I do know it is June 1st because I'm so happy. I love June, my favorite month of the year. Love June. One time I was a kid, it was the month of my birthday. It was the month we got out of school. It was the month that everything was beautiful and in bloom uh, and still is. Anyway, so I love June. Needless to say. So anyway, I hope you all had a wonderful day. I certainly did. I'm just getting in from doing a lot of work today. Workout in my yard. Getting things looking good for the summer. It's so nice out there. The mosquitoes in here again. They rush in when you open the door because they are hungry and they want some blood. So they are flying around here. I'm trying to get a few of them. Ouch! Come on, I got a dog underneath me. Dog underneath me that just clawed me hard on my bare ankle there. That hurt. Pushing my, what he was doing is trying to get room. He's pushing my, took his paws and his claws and he pushed my bare ankle really hard away. So that means he needs more leg room. We're both trying to use underneath the desk here and somebody's not happy anyway. So I am working on the Sodom and Gomorrah, Sins of Sodom and Gomorrah. Tonight, as about the last hour, I came in after I fed the dogs. I was getting this up. I was going to do it tonight. I hope this thing is, I need to put this in the holder because I don't think it's, might not be loud enough. Anyway, now it's in the holder. You might hear me better. So, anyway, I was getting the study ready for tonight, and it is just too much, and I just uncovered more, and I got some pictures, and anyway, so we're going to, I changed my mind. We're not doing that tonight. We're going to do it on Saturday, and I will repeat this a little bit later. Just trying to clear my phone so I can pull your chat up, or pull the chat up. There we go. So that is the plan, Stan. It is Thursday evening, kicking off the summer, June 1st. So I have started also a new study for after this. After the Sins of Sodom, I've got a new one coming up. I made up a new study that I don't think anybody's I've never seen before. So that's gonna be interesting. And that is our forefathers Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob study. It's going to be different than I don't think anybody else has ever done. So that'll be interesting to me anyway. I don't know about anybody else. Oh my goodness. I tell you, gardening is kind of hard on the fingernails a little bit. Get some dirty. Gotta scrub them. But I was gardening today, and I'm trying to get one box done per day. So I did. I got a box done today. Hey, Dee, how you doing tonight? Welcome, Shalom. Hope you had a wonderful Thursday. I just saying, gardening out in my garden boxes. I got another garden box done. I got a thing of pep, or no, I got, today I did tomatoes. I've already done the cucumbers, one box of cucumbers, and I did a box of tomatoes, so one garden box, two garden boxes done. If I get one done per day, it'll be great. They'll be all done within a week. I think I got 7 of them. You're doing okay? Awesome. I hope you're feeling better. Hope all is well. I was just saying, I came in tonight and started getting my Sodom and Gomorrah study together, and I found more stuff that I'm going to be showing. So I'm going to try something different this week. Sometimes, I don't know. Anyway, but I'm going to try something different this week on Saturday, which is the day after tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's Friday. Yeah, day after tomorrow. You're feeling better? That's good. Awesome. Let's see. So Saturday, I'm going to be doing my Sins of Sodom and Gomorrah. And I'm going to come on at 8 o'clock on Saturday. I'm going to try that. What I'm going to do is set a reminder, a 30-minute reminder or 1 hour reminder. And I'm going to try 8 o'clock on Saturday because this is kind of a big, it's going to take me like, I don't know, about at least 30 minutes, maybe even an hour to lay everything out. And anyway, I'm thinking I'm going to try 8 o'clock on Saturday, and I don't know if some of you guys are not going to be able to make that. How about you, Dee? Are you going to be around at Saturday at 8 o'clock if I switch the time? I got cats all over the place outside. I think they're looking for their food. I had some food out there, but the dogs ate it. Anyway. It's got a big smile. You will be here then? All right. So Saturday, so I'm going to be putting up I don't know if you get the notifications, but it's going to be it'll have my channel say live in 30 minutes or maybe 60 minutes. I think 30 minutes probably good. I don't know, in case, I don't know if people are going to make that time or not, but I'm going to try it. Saturday at 8 o'clock is the Sins of Sodom and Gomorrah. This week I haven't had time to do anything. Every day it's been something. And today wasn't so bad. I'm going to be busy all day tomorrow. All day tomorrow. I gotta go. Excuse me. I gotta do a lot of stuff at the post office. I have to mail out lots of packages. So it's such a pain in the butt, but I got to do it. And so that's going to take up that and some other stuff I got to do tomorrow. So tomorrow night is open chat. No, there's another mosquito. Oh, I missed it. You always get, okay, so it'll be a notification that says I'm going live in 30 minutes, and I'll probably be at 7:30. I'm going to try to go live at 8 on Saturday, not tomorrow, but Saturday for my Sins of Sodom. I'm just going to try that 8 o'clock Saturday spot because it would be like, it'd only be 9 on the East Coast, I think. I don't know. It'd be 7 on the West Coast. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And I don't know if that works for people. But anyway, tomorrow night is just going to be an open chat. And maybe try if If people are up to it, we can do the Bible Jeopardy tomorrow night, Friday night. Yeah. So anyway, last night after I got off of here, I did a video. Took me a while, but anyway, I did a video on my other channel about the false prophet who guaranteed everybody 1,000% that they were not going to sign the, you know, the debt ceiling bill or whatever. And yeah, last night they signed it. So again, another false prophecy. So I stayed up real late making a video about that, a 2-minute video. So anyway, I had a big day today. I hope everybody had a wonderful day. Hope you all had a great Thursday. I worked out in my yard, cut grass, planted, worked in the garden. Just work, work, work. And I love it because it is getting nice and put together for the summer. Last week I put my berry patch together a little bit better. I got patch of berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. And anyway, so I've been working a lot in the garden. And once everything gets put in, then it's just down to watering and weeding. It's much easier. But right now it's kind of busy. So I was like, I don't know, maybe within the last week I was thinking, because I always think about this, but I thought, you know what, I think I'm going to start after the sins of Sodom. I think I'm going to do another study about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Why do we call them our forefathers? And are they good role models? It's that, and a huge question is, the name of the study will be, do you worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? And everybody's going to say, of course we do, but nah. I'm going to just tell you right now, you might want to think twice about who the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is, and who our forefathers are. Somebody just put up their critter cam. I know somebody who puts up a camera. He's got a raccoon he's got cats too, but he's got a raccoon that comes up, and he he puts whatever he has out there for the raccoon every day, whether it's a half-eaten bear claw or food out of the refrigerator, donuts. He's even hung a donut by a string so the raccoon has to get it. Anyway, it's kind of funny. I like watching critter cams. I like watching my own critter cam. I got a critter cam right there. I get to watch my own critters, but I like his. I like the raccoon. Raccoons, their hands work really good. They can like open things, and their hands are like human hands. They work really good. But anyway, so that's the plan for tomorrow and the next night, and maybe the Abraham thing on Sunday. I'm not sure yet. It is so deep, though, that Sodom, the sins of Sodom thing is so deep. No pun intended. I just thought I said that twice. But just like all the answers are right there in the scriptures, and it just was kind of cool. Also, I mean, because I realize that there's so many scriptures that refer to Sodom and Gomorrah, and extra out. outside. Hey, John, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. I haven't sent an email because I've been kind of running. My days have been this week has been just unbelievable, hectic. But I got a really cool study on Sodom and Gomorrah. I was going to do it tonight, and then as I started getting ready, I tripped across something else that has to do with Sodom and Gomorrah. So anyway, it's kind of a big study, and I told Dee that on Saturday, YouTube, it is so cool because it explains everything, and it really has nothing that has to do with homosexuality at all, really. But it was really cool coming across so many, but there's a lot of outside the Bible sources too that refer to it. Anyway, yeah. So you've been really busy too? Springtime, planting time, huh? I bet I think if I remember right, you got you grow some stuff yourself, so yeah, it is planting season here where I'm at. And, I'm trying to get one box done per day. Last year I was a little more ahead of schedule than this year, and it should be opposite because it was nicer now. I was afraid to really put everything in too early because we have a chance of frost if you put it in before June 1st. So anyway, so this year, because I've had so much hectic stuff going on, like I said, the dogs porcupine in the face thing, that could have been a lot worse. So praise God it wasn't. But anyway, I had to go to the cities 2 days ago. That day it happened too, and then it's just been a hectic week. Also, I'm really involved in this lawsuit that I'm in, and it's I've been in lawsuits before, and I'm trying to tell you, it is trying on a person every time. You know what I mean? Anyway, so anyway, but I gotta say myself, it's probably going to be one of my favorite studies is the Sodom and Gomorrah, and then like I said, I'm gonna probably present something nobody's ever presented as far as Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and like always, my stand might be not popular. Anyway, so anyway, how was your guys' day? How was your day, John? Dee said she had a good day. I'm gonna try to pull up my. It's really funny. I was when I was studying some stuff today, I had to keep coming in because it was hot here, really hot. So I had to keep coming in and cooling off me and the dogs. And I pulled up a quick study about, I can't remember what it was, but they keep popping up these Catholic sites, like Catholic priests. They got their own channels, and anyway, can't remember what it was about praying for. It was about, oh, I know what it said. And it was something because I was looking up Ezekiel. You know how about the risen body or whatever, when the bodies rise. Well, anyway, the Catholic thing comes up, and the Catholic thing, the guy said that it was titled "Why Catholics Don't Cremate or Spread Their Ashes." That's what it was. Why Catholics don't spread their ashes. And that was all about how you got to keep the body together for the physical resurrection. And that makes no sense, because if you believe that your body's going to go together and go into heaven, well, flesh and blood and bones do not inherit the kingdom of heaven. So that makes no sense. But it just, I don't know. It's just, anyway, in the comments section, I was reading the comments section. There were Catholics, and one lady wrote a comment, said, my mom taught us whenever we drive past this cemetery to always do the sign of the cross and pray for everybody that might be in purgatory. And I still do it to this day. God bless her. Anyway, I thought, see, somebody got trained from a kid to pray for the dead and pray that they get out of halfway hell. It's like a halfway house, but it's for hell. Halfway hell. Purgatory. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's what I got going on. Stuff like that. Yeah, so John, I don't know if you caught my other channel, but yes, Mark Hardy had another failed prophecy today. The debt ceiling crash did not come true. The debt ceiling did not crash down. They did approve more money because they always do, and it's been going on since 1960, before I was born. There hasn't been a day where we don't have a debt ceiling that's ready to collapse. And yes, last night, I don't know, very late at night, they passed the bill, and there you go. And here it is. Yeah, I'll pull it up. So yes, today he is officially another false prophecy in the on his record. So that's the video I did last night, and stayed up pretty late. But I hope you guys all had a great day. What else? So John, I don't know if you heard, because it was before you came in. They constantly raise the ceiling and print more money every time. Yeah, right. And in the meantime, anybody who's dumb enough to watch mainstream media and believe everything, that your whole life is going to be destroyed, and scare the crap out of everybody, and then that always gets approved. But in the meantime, all the senior citizens and the retired people and Social Security and the disabled people and everybody has to worry that their money's not going to be there, and they're not going to have rent, and they're not going to have food. And they want everybody to be scared and worry about those things. It's a thing to get everybody in fear and upset. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, you would have to be, pretty foolish to think they're not going to do it. I had a comment from Joseph Aquaviva 2222, and I went to click on it and it disappeared. I think it got hid. I don't know. But anyway, yes, so the world knows. Another false prophecy under his belt, on his record. And yeah, so they'll kick the can down the road, and I don't know. I think they do this like every 2 years or 4 years, 5. I don't know. They do it every several years just to get everybody upset, because if the government can't print out any money, then all the poor people are going to starve and have nowhere to live. And that's what they like. They like having everybody in that position and want you to all worry, want everybody, every one of us to worry that we're going to lose everything and starve. And then the last second they pull their, act that they got it all settled and it was a close call and 3 minutes to midnight and all that kind of stuff. Just get everybody worried. Anyway, when are people going to wake up? And what difference does it make? Print more. And nothing's backed by silver or gold, so why not just print more? And that's what they do. So at this point, what's the difference? But no, the economy did not collapse today, as prophesied for 6 months. And not only that, but just think about it. They can't have the economy collapse. Too bad, because they live here too, and they got everybody as a slave, and that would not work out well for the slave system. I don't even know what that meant. Anyway, So, John, I don't know if you're here and you heard. So Saturday, I will be doing. It's going to be an awesome study. I'm going to do at 8 o'clock. I don't know if you can make it, but Dee said she might, or she should. She can make it. But 8 o'clock on Saturday is going to be my live. I'm going to try 8 o'clock spot on Saturday for my Sins of Sodom live stream. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. We're going to have a regular Friday night. This is an open chat tomorrow night with, if there's anybody that wants to play Bible Jeopardy, we'll play Bible Jeopardy. But Saturday, I'm going to be coming on at 8. And I'll put out a 30-minute notification that it's going to be on 8 o'clock because probably people are not going to be expecting that. We shall see. I may have visitors over the weekend. Okay. Yeah. If not, John, maybe you could just listen to it on the replay. It's going to be a really good study. I was going to maybe do it tonight, even though I was kind of running late. But when I was pulling up my notes, I found an extra thing. And it's just too much to do on a late chat like this. So I'm going to come on at 8 o'clock. If you can't make it, maybe just watch on the replay. I'm going to have some surprises for people. Well, maybe most people. Not everybody. Some people might know what I'm going to show. But anyway, you'll look at Sodom and Gomorrah much differently after that. I did. So that's going to be 8 o'clock. So like I said, it's whenever I switch the time, it usually doesn't work out well. But I'm going to try it 8 o'clock Saturday. I will put out a 30-minute notification. But yeah, it's too much to put on. Yeah. So we've had such nice weather. We got everything growing like crazy. Tomorrow, after I get all my mailing done, I gotta go up to the nursery again, and I'm gonna be picking out just a couple last things for my garden, and it will hopefully be done. The boxes should be done within a week. Oh, it looked like it was a full moon tonight. It was getting dark out, and if it wasn't full, it's almost full. I don't know. It's a pretty big moon. You know, I was listening to and I learned more about because the wisdom of the Buddha wisdom is really unbelievable. It's life-changing. But anyway, I was listening to people explaining about Buddhism. Oh. It's not a religion. It's like a practice, a way of it's like a practice of disciplines or whatever. It's a practice. It's just kind of a way of. It'll be, on the 5th. Oh wow, still got a few days to go. It looked almost full. The people that used to be on here preaching Yeshua and Christ crucified don't show up much anymore. That's really, yeah. You don't want to hear about drinking blood and eating flesh, John? That it's all been nailed to the cross. It is a relief because that's another thing I want. And I don't want, Christians get really offended. That's the whole thing about Christianity is you're taught to get offended and condemn people that don't agree with your beliefs. And so that's, I think, I used to get offended when people say religion is all about control. And actually they were right. Because if your religion makes you recoil away from anybody who doesn't think, no, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking about just compiling together just things that are so ridiculous, like like the hating your mother and your father, you must hate everybody, and just like so many things that are just like if you were coming into a new religion, they started saying these things, you would get in your car and leave, and never come back. But I was just thinking of the things like, and like you can't get married again once you get divorced, and like just everything. I'm thinking I should compile a list of just how ridiculous. You know, I was thinking another thing. Um, like all these years that I paid for everything by myself because that's what Christians have to do. I thought, you know what? Why can't I put a PayPal up? And one day I'm gonna put it out. You know what? And I already told everybody this. If I put a PayPal up, I'm not gonna mention it. It'll be in the description box. I'll never mention it, never ask for money. But I thought to myself, you know what? I've been up here 5 years. I've spent $1,500 on StreamYard alone, hundreds of dollars on all the other equipment, microphones that didn't work, one after the next, headsets. I mean, you name it, webcams, an extra laptop. I've spent thousands of dollars, and I had to. So I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. Okay, because I'm a Christian and in this cult, I have to not only volunteer 5,000 hours of my time, I have to show up every night for free, an hour or two every night, thousands of hours, do it all by myself and pay for it. Nobody can help me pay for some of these expenses. I'm thinking to myself, what the heck? People have offered. I'm like, oh no, I can't. I can't accept any money. And as the meantime, I'm paying StreamYard I can't afford every month, and I'm thinking, what? And I'm looking back, thinking, what was I thinking? Well, because that's what you're told. Yeah, no, it isn't. And you know what? Unlike other people, I can prove my expenses. Do the math. It's $300 a year times 5 years since I moved up here. That's $1,500 just StreamYard. You guys saw me buy microphone after microphone after microphone after microphone after headset and headset and headset, webcams, laptops, you name it, extra router boxes, anything it takes. And it's, I'm still rubbing sticks together here. I'm thinking, why am other people getting money when they're just making a video off their phone? I'm spending thousands of dollars and all my time doing it, running this, and people are offering to help pay some of the expenses. I thought that too. Can you imagine saying, if I go to the food shelf and say, I'm willing to volunteer 5,000 hours of my time, and they say, okay, well, show up every day and make sure that you buy all the food and pay for all the expenses too. I'm thinking, wow, I've never volunteered and had to pay for expenses, but I have for 5 years and 7 years. Yeah, Minister Paul M.H., Rhonda Epperson, many others are a bunch of crooks. They are. It's not costing them anything to take. Listen, I'm not including the cost of my phone because we all have to have a phone. We always have. Not that we have to, but I would have a phone whether I'm on StreamYard or YouTube or anything. I would have a phone anyway. That's not costing me money. That doesn't cost them money. Because to do a video off your phone, that doesn't cost anything. It's when you have to start paying services and buying special equipment, all that stuff. But yeah. Anyway, I thought, what am I doing? What am I doing? I haven't worked for since COVID. I thought, yeah, and those other people are not spending anything, taking their money, and thinking that I'm in a cult. That's what it is. In fact, that was my study. Another study. I'm put it. Ways that you know that you're in a cult. All right. First of all, the cult is going to have a sword between you and your family to divide them. You're going to hate your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, or you're not a good cult member. Also about that King James only. What a scam that was. King James only. So you're telling me, and that's another thing and Grace brings up once in a while too. We did a long time ago. I'd like to do that again. Let's have one night study about King James and show people who he is. And you tell me, let me get this straight. So people think Jesus spoke just like Shakespeare. And where does it say that you have to do the King James? And I kind of touched on it briefly, how it was a well played out thing back in, I don't know when it was, a long time ago, decades ago, if not 100 years ago. But anyway, a long time ago, it was a well played out, plotted out plan to do the King James only, especially in the Southern Baptists. Anyway, it's the King James only. If you don't, another mosquito. I got a few of them in here. If you don't read the King James, then you need to get out of our church. And that's literally what they were trained to do. If somebody is not a King James only, get them out of the church. And what did that do? Why? What's so bad about that? Well, now nobody can understand a darn thing. You know, it's just, no, it's everything. It's not just the thous and the ye's and the yays. No, it's everything. Every sentence. You don't even know what they're talking about. Goodness. Anyway, it was just another trick. Just another trick to keep people confused. So if you do happen to, venture into the Bible and start reading it, you're going to be so confused. You don't know what they're talking about. All this stuff. So yeah, remember, then another time I showed, which I would add to that study, my other point, how they added the chapters and verses to make it even worse. Now you end chapter 2 and now you're on to chapter 3, verse 1. You think you're in another land, in another time or whatever, and no, actually it's continued from the story before. You know what I mean? It so disorientates you, then you don't know where you're at from chapter to chapter. I'm glad to be done with all their negativity and hatred. Drew Bloom, Marcus, Rapture Cult, so on. All those people are aging quickly. Yeah, did you notice that, John? They're all aging quickly, and I think that's the hatred, because you're taught to hate. And if anybody doesn't agree with you, you have to hate them. And even though nobody can agree with each other, outsiders, you have to go for the throat. And if you're not, and if you're a fellow Christian and you don't see the way I do on the rapture, all these other twisted doctrines that don't make sense and don't line up with each other, obviously the way it's written, it makes everybody disagree. That's why you got 1,000 denominations. Now just think of it. Do you think that there are 1,000 denominations of any other religion? Now, sure, there are like severities or whatever you want to call it, depths or whatever. Like, okay, even the Judaism, okay, and the Jews, they have like, they got Judaism, but then they also got the Orthodox Jews, which takes things a little stricter, and then they got the ultra-Orthodox Jews, which won't even flip a light on Sabbath and stuff. So they got like different levels, I guess. But they all have, it's more solidified. But Christianity is so confusing that you're bound to argue with each other. And I said a long time ago, could you imagine? Which makes me wonder, should we even pray for them anymore? Many of them do not want us to pray for them unless we believe the same as they. Yeah, you're right, John. And you know what, John? I really, yeah. I don't know. I'm not worried about praying for them, because everybody has a right to choose your religion, right? And so I used to be all in for those street preaching channels and the people going. I was one myself who would go out to the store and talk to people and line about Jesus and everything else, and just I was not shy at all. You know, push my religion on other people. And then now I think I would never do that. I don't own any more Jesus shirts anymore. None, nothing like that. I wear plain clothing. My thought is, what if I'm wrong? Because I've been wrong before, and I don't want to push my religion on nobody, and I don't want nobody to push their religion on me, because I would think religion is division, and that's what it's there is to divide and conquer. Just another technique, which worked great. And remember that one night I did the live stream about, in this symbol we will conquer. In the Christian cross, it's a Roman symbol of execution, death symbol of Rome. In this symbol, they will conquer. And they did. Just think about it. Everybody is a Christian almost. If you're not a Christian, you're a Catholic, Baptist, whatever, just a little splinter offs. But all in all, it's a Jesus worshiping world. And in order to be a Jesus worshiper, you believe in a government's script of nobody's right except you. Hate anybody, basically. You can't call it hate, but it is what it is. Recoil away, just run away from anybody who's not exactly like you and doesn't think like you and doesn't believe like you. Even though none of you believe on each other, you're not on the same page as each other, but just stay away from everybody. So if you're not a Christian, don't have anything to do with them. If they are a atheist or even in Judaism or whatever, don't have anything to do with them. If we're wrong, we can show God the Bible verses to justify reason. Exactly, John. Exactly. And you know what? There are multiple different gods in the Bible. They even different names of God. So obviously different men were writing about their different gods and put all their ideas into the Old Testament. And then the New Testament, you also have multiple gods. You've got Jesus' version of God, and you've got Paul's version of God, and you've got so on. So it is so contradictory that you really can't be blamed. I believe it is all man-made. I do too, John. I think it's really obvious at this point, I think, and that's my opinion. If I heard somebody say that a few years ago, I would have said blasphemy and all that other stuff. And that is a really flawed God. That God, if that's your God, then it's flawed, because I'm going to tell you, like I was thinking today, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is what I want to put together some night. Just think about this. Okay, Abraham is the father of, is our father, right? Our forefather, father of many nations, billions of people. Okay, father, right? Okay, Abraham is our father. Oh, we just looked up to him. He's such a wonderful father. Wait just a cotton pick a minute. Didn't Abraham force his wife's slave to get pregnant by him, whether she wanted to or not? Force her to have a child. And then once he had his own child with the wife, a second child, the one he really wanted, then her child and her got put out in the desert to die. What? Yeah. Would he be father of the year? Think about this. Okay, so you force your slave, you force yourself on your slave and get her pregnant. And then once the baby's born, and then he has one with his wife, then you and your baby has to be put out in the desert to go die. The only thing that saved them was God. Just think about that. That's your forefather. He's father of the year. Okay. Okay. Oh, don't even get me started on Isaac and Jacob. You know what I mean? Anyway, so I mean, if Jacob were alive today and he was a celebrity, it is shady. How can he be our father? Okay, he had 2 kids. One of them he threw out in the desert to die because the wife told him to. So, okay, the little boy, the slave lady who had a kid against her will, and now she's got the kid, loves the kid, no doubt. The little kid says something to the guy's new kid, insults it, whatever. The little kids do what they do, and because of that, her and the baby, and her and the child, 12-year-old, whatever it was, her and the child get put out. Which, by the way, that story's got multiple versions. One time he's a baby under a bush, and the next time he's 12 years old, but whatever. Anyway, David wrote some beautiful psalms, but as far as moral character, David was no good. A murderer, adulterer, did not discipline, absolve for exactly. Exactly. Look at the character of these people. I don't consider it to be my forefather, I think. Yeah, right, D? But what are we supposed to say? And what are we trained to say? I worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Oh, and you know what? I don't worship nobody's God but mine. I'm supposed to worship the God of Abraham. I don't know who he is or his God. As far as Isaac and Jacob, all of them, they did some shady stuff. That's right. I don't know who their God is. I don't worship their God. I don't even know if these people are real or how long ago, thousands of years ago they lived. I don't know. Even if they lived next door and I knew them pretty well, I still wouldn't say I worship their God. Can you imagine saying I worship my next door neighbor's God? I worship my butcher's God. I worship my boss's God. No, I worship my God. I don't worship somebody else's God, but we're taught to say, I worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. How many people do you hear say that? They all do. Oh, I worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Really? Who's their God? Anyway. And just the thing about the Philistines and all of them cutting off their junk that was all a lie just to, anyway, wow. Just like, really? These are supposed to be people, our forefathers? Yeah, I don't think he's not my forefather, and I don't worship anybody's God but Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. How do we even know they even worship the same God as each other? Anyway, just like, hey, can you imagine? Okay, Jacob. So he's Jacob. Jacob has a wife, 2 wives, and 2 other, and their slaves. So he's got 4 women, getting 4 women pregnant, having 12 kids with 4 women. What would we think of that person today? There's a lot of celebrities like Nick Cannon. I think he's got 12 kids by 4 women or something. But at least he's seen taking care of them all. Anyway, he brings them to his job and whatever. It's just what they show on TV, but who knows? I saw, or I heard a thing on the radio about him and his 12. I think he's got 12 kids by 4 different women or something like that. And so many people are like, oh, that's horrible. Well, wait a minute. Jacob had 12 kids by 4 women. You could bring that person out today and they're a horrible person. What? They got 12 kids by 4 women? They're awful. Well, Jacob did that. And just think about it. Okay, so I'm engaged to this guy for 7 years because my dad said he has to work for 7 years before we get married. He buys me. But anyway, I love my fiance Jacob, and after 7 years, my dad's gonna let me marry him. And then as 7 years comes, I don't know what they did with me, but all of a sudden my sister's in bed with my new husband, and now he says he's going to be married to her, and he wants me to wait another 7 years because my dad said, okay, now listen, if that happened to me, I'd say, wait a minute, Jacob, hold up right here. I don't know what happened last night, but if you're going to be married to my sister, be married to my sister. You want to wait another 7 years for me? Wait another 7 years, but you're not going to be sleeping with my sister, having children while you're waiting for me. How is that? How is that? How is that acceptable? But she's supposed to wait 7 more years for her husband. Now he had, remember, the Old Testament says that you can get divorced. He should have woke up and said, hey, wait a minute, that's not my wife. I want her, not this one. And they find out you're tricked. We'll say, then I want a certificate of divorce. Give me a divorce. Okay, give a divorce. Okay, now go work for your second one. But he didn't. Well, I'm going to keep her while I wait for you. Your sister. I'm going to get your sister knocked up a bunch of times while I'm waiting for you. People make up whatever they want and put it under rubric of God. Exactly, John. It's a God of their imagination. Everybody, and you can, that's the beauty of the Bible. You can pick that Bible up and make any God you want out of it. And like I said, if you can pick up a manual and make anything you want out of it, that's a flawed manual. Imagine if I went to work, I used to be an x-ray technician, and I go to work, and the manual tells me to do something, and then the next page it tells me to do something opposite. So I'm doing one way, and then my coworker's doing it the opposite way, and we're both right. But somehow we're colliding. Religion is the enemy of freedom. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's and what did they say a long time ago? It's a form of control. Religion is a form of control. And look how they've constructed the Christian religion to bow down to your government, pay your taxes, bend over, let them do what they want to you. If they smack you on one side of your face, let them smack the other side. Let them just roll right over you. And if they want you to go to prison, go. Be pushed and shoved to get on the bus first. Get on there and show how loyal and faithful you are. And then if they want you to go to death, make sure you get first in line for that. Put your head down, let them chop it. Because you guess what? If it's stuff that you lose here, you'll get 100-fold there. Well, what's the difference of 72 virgins or 100 houses I lost? Okay, so if I lose a house here, I get 100 houses up in heaven. If I lose my husband here, I get 100-fold in husbands in heaven. How does any of this make sense? If I lose my job here, I get 100 jobs in heaven. This makes no sense. Anything I lose here, I get 100-fold in heaven. Well, what? So if I lose, if I lose my car or my life savings, I get 1,000 life savings there, 100 car. It makes no sense. But that's right, because you're not supposed to critically think. If you start thinking, then you're going to burn in hell. You can't question anything. It's God's perfect word. It's you making the mistake, not the book. And my question is, say you believe that this is a perfect manual we got handed to us just 500 years ago, you guys. It only went into mass printing like 500 years ago. So are you telling me up to 500 years ago, thousands and thousands and thousands of years, nobody had this manual, but now 500 years or less, we have a manual. How did all the other people get along without this wonderful magic manual that we have now? How did everybody else get along before now? You know how on your conscience that you're born with. That's to me, real easy. And the stuff Tom Butler said about not making it into the kingdom, he had no logical basis to say such thing. That's right. That's right. Because of eating meat? There's not one word in the Bible about eating meat. And then he said something about the pigeons, about chewing it and dying with the meat in your mouth. That had nothing to do with being a vegetarian. I mean, they'll pick out the silliest little sentence and try to make their argument out of it when the entire thousands of pages say otherwise. One page says this, but thousands say something else. And just the judgment of everybody, like, you're going to hell. Like, you know, if you're wrong, which they can't be, it just is amazing. And it, like John, like you said, I feel so free now. Free to love whoever I want to love. If they're not the same religion to me, that's fine. I can talk to them. I can, you know, I can joke with people. I can talk to them. I can be friends with who I want. I don't have to look at everybody like they're picture flames and screaming the rest of their life because they're not paying, because they don't believe what I say. And just like, just some mind games that Christianity plays on you, and really makes you think, you know what, if I have to just dump my whole family, so what? And look at all my other brothers and sisters I'm going to get. It's like, okay, so that's his personal belief, not a proven fact. That's right. And that's the problem with a lot of them. People have a personal belief, and then they'll try to cherry pick Bible verses to make their case on their personal beliefs. And the Bible verses that they cherry pick are out of context and not helping their case at all. Anyway, it is really a mind twist, you know what I mean? But it's like, if once you get out of it, you just think straight again and think clear and think logically, thinking, you know what God wants? God wants us to get up every day, treat others as how we want to be treated, be kind to your fellow human beings, try to be helpful, help people around you. Just be a good person. What? You can't, good deeds don't get you into heaven. Well, you know, personally, I don't even know if anything about a heaven, because we're told that heaven's for God, not for us, first of all. Second of all, I believe that personally, I believe after our purpose is done here, we die and we move on. That's why some kids die at 5 or 10 years old, or 12 years old, or as people at 21 years old. Why do they die so young? I think I believe their purpose is done. Once your purpose is done here, you move on and you have another life. You're born again. Get it? Born again into your next life. And I think and I believe in karma. What happens in this life is going to come back in your next life. Say you were, I don't know. You just use your imagination. Whatever you do against people here that's wrong will be done against you in your next. You know what I mean? I just believe that's how people get refined. So every life you go through, you'll understand how it is to be on the receiving end of this, of what you do wrong. And that's what I believe. Yeah. And you know, the funny thing is, not one person can prove any of it. Nobody can prove 100% any of their beliefs. The closest you can come to proving anything about after death is either near-death experiences that have been verified through, as much as possible, through medical records, that they were dead for 10 minutes or 20 minutes or an hour, or the people who are on the verge, about to die. Yeah, you know, going off into taking their last breath and stuff like that. They're what would you call it? They're not their testimony, but their you know, their stories or whatever. And that is much closer, what I think, because whenever somebody sees God either near death, where they almost die and then come back, or do die and come back, or people on the verge about to die and not come back, it's always the same. The bright light, bright light, white light. No matter what culture you're in, you always see a bright light, a feeling of love and warmth that you've never felt before, and not not upset at all that you die. Never, any time. More like, wow, why was I worried about this? This is great kind of stuff. And always a tunnel. I don't know. It's just so weird how all through the years and the different cultures and stuff, people have never known each other, never heard each other's testimonies. There's like a lot of similarities there. So I think that's more closer to reality, I think, than a lot of it. Anyway, well, I'll wrap it up. I'm at an hour, I just noticed, so I'm gonna wrap this up. And like I say, tomorrow night, in case anybody listening didn't hear earlier, tomorrow night's just gonna be an open chat with if anybody wants to play Bible Jeopardy. Saturday, I'm going to come on early at 8 o'clock. I'll put up a 30-minute notification. 8 o'clock on Saturday, we're going to do the Sins of Sodom. It's an awesome, awesome study that I've had for a while, and I've just added to tonight. Great stuff. So that's the plan for the next 2 nights. And then after that, I don't know. Like I said, I got other ideas that I've mentioned. So anyway, all right. Yeah, it is so weird. Grace reminded me of somebody that used to be here. I can't remember what his name is. She would remember. A guy that used to be here. He was really cool. He was an awesome friend of ours on the channel. But he left because we were too religious and I don't know, something. But anyway, it'd be nice if they came back, because that might have been the case. That would be great to read some other ancient texts, the Emerald Tablets, the Kybalion, and works by Helena. Well, John, that sounds like a great idea. I would be totally open to that. And I've been studying Buddhism, which is not a religion. It is a way of life. There's no God in Buddhism. You have your own God, or if you want one. But it has nothing to, you don't worship anything. It's just a way of life and a way of thinking and changing your thinking. Especially after being in Christianity, you need a positivity. You know what I mean? Not the gloom and doom, not the everything sucks in our life. We hate our life and everything's hateful. But just how to life-changing things that they can teach you. And that's not a religion. It's just because there's no God involved. But yeah, I would be totally open to that. You'll have to remind me, because I'd be totally open to that. Other texts, and then probably soon I might be compiling some really awesome. Like I said, when I read the lessons and wisdom of Buddha, it is life-changing, you know what I mean? And so I would like to compile some of that sometime. Well, hey, Alex, how you doing tonight? Good to see you. Much love to you, too. Good to see you, Alex. Hope you've been doing well. That would be fun if you could get Rabbi Shapiro as a guest on your live stream. Oh, I would love that. Or I would love that. I don't know if I have a big enough channel, but yeah, Rabbi Shapiro. I would like to get actually, I would like to get Tovia Singer if I could get somebody. I like the guys at Myth Vision podcast and Neil at Gnostic Informant too. Good to see you tonight, Alex. I hope you've been doing well and everything's good with you. Much love to you too. But yeah, I would love to have guests. I don't like being up here by myself all the time. I really wish, you guys all know, I wish I would have had somebody. That's what I liked about Tom. He had no problem coming up here and talking. But, it's got too judgmental, man. We can't be judging each other. Can't be the final judgment. Nobody knows nothing for sure. But I just like to learn. I don't know, just always learning stuff and things that are helpful, and but yeah, the judgmental stuff, I don't like that. Having to and the funny thing is nobody's got the final say that they were right. You know what I mean? You really don't know what happened. You don't know the secret until after you die. I remember there was a movie about a Russian Olympic skater named, and her name was Katyana Bayul or something like that. I can't remember what her name is. But she, I don't know, I think she was an orphan or something. Maybe lived with her grandma or something. Anyway, the coach took her on and made her into Olympic star in Russia. Anyway, when her grandma died, right before the Olympics or whatever it was, Oksana Bayul, that's what it was, Oksana Bayul. Anyway, there's the Oksana Bayul story. I saw it back like in the 90s or something. But anyway, they said when the grandma died, they went to tell her that the grandma died back home, and they said now she knows the secret, because that's what they used to say about when you die. It's a secret what happens when you die. So when they told her the grandma died, they said, "Well, grandma knows the secret now," and that is the truth. It is the secret. You really don't know until you die. So I don't know. I just think, what would God want? He would want you to be kind to each other, be helpful to each other, help out people less fortunate than you, and just kind of the basics that we already know. Stuff that we're born, you're born with this stuff. You're born knowing right from wrong, really. It's indoctrinated out of you, but you're born knowing right from wrong. You're born knowing that you shouldn't hurt other people. You're born knowing all this. That, hey, if somebody else is hungry and you have food, you should share, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. Just do others as the golden rule. Do as others as you'd have done unto you. That simple. Not all these ritual stuff and you have to believe this, believe that. When the book tells you to believe something different on every page. So, yeah, I don't think that's the answer. I think we have the answer when we're born. We're born with the answers. Treat everybody nice. You know what I mean? The way you want to be treated. I think it's that simple. Anyway, well, good to see you tonight, Alex. I'm probably going to say goodnight tonight. Get ready. I got a big day tomorrow. And tomorrow's just going to be a fun night of hopefully Bible Jeopardy. Hopefully there'll be more than at least one person that wants to play with me. A round of Bible Jeopardy. I love Bible Jeopardy. I think it's fun on Friday nights. Otherwise, it'll just be probably a short chat. Either way, looking forward to it. So thank you, Father, for gathering us this evening. And we always pray to be led to the truth. Amen. All right. So good night to John and Dee and Alex and anybody else that was here tonight. I hope you all had an awesome day, and I hope tomorrow's even better, and hope to see you tomorrow night. Yeah. And Dee, you sleep well. John, Alex, everybody have a restful night's sleep, and hope you have an awesome day tomorrow. I hope the Lord blesses you abundantly, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow night. Yep. And then Saturday, like I said, I'm going to try something new. Yeah, good night to you too. Good night. Good night to everything. Yeah, you too, Dee. All right. Love you guys. Thanks for coming in. Good night to each and every one of you. And shalom, and that means,